Hello and welcome to your daily crypto news. Thanks to everybody who joined us on the live stream last night. We're trying to get a regular schedule down. We are going to be doing live streams, it looks like, on Wednesdays and Saturdays. And then the other days of the week, trying to do a regular news video and then a video of another kind. So thanks everybody for joining us. If you're not a member of the Bit Squad, make sure you do that by clicking the subscribe button. We're growing every single day. We've got a chill community. We're engaged. Come be a part of it. So today we're going to be looking at the markets briefly and then a lot of news. Bitcoin has dropped back under 6,000. It is a recent development in the last couple of hours, which means that we are really going to be testing this mining theory that the miners won't allow the price to dip far below $6,000 because $6,000 is the break-even point for Bitcoin miners. And you would assume that people who have been mining for a long time have quite a lot of Bitcoin and can make the market move. So it'd be very interesting. I believe, not financial advice, do your own research, I believe we will see Bitcoin go back up over $6,000 within the next 4 or 5 hours. If we go lower, then that means that that theory is no good and that there's really no telling how low we can drop. So you guys should be pulling for us to go right back up above 6,000. And, you know, biggest winners, biggest losers of the day. We'll look at briefly Mithril, Ethos, Game.com, Augur. We're going to look at in just a minute. Had a huge spike and then it's kind of came down to earth. Biggest losers of the day: CryptoNext, Aeon, Monaco, Theta Token, KuCoin shares, Komodo. A lot of things in that 5 to 13% range. But I'm just flabbergasted when I go on Twitter. There was a post today showing the average market cycle, and I'll put that on the background here so you can see that. And so many people are saying, like, we're just the very beginning of a crash. Like, we're still in the denial stage of Bitcoin crash. To me, that's absolutely insane. I don't see how you can look at this chart and figure that we're anywhere other than near one of the bottom levels of this market. And the reason is simple. I mean, Nano, we've talked about Nano a lot lately, but it's dropped 95%. Bitcoin has dropped 70%. So many of these coins and tokens have dropped to such an astronomically low level, maybe that's an oxymoron, but anyways, that people would be absolutely insane to sell out. And that is what drives these crashes. And when people are selling out because they're scared or worried, I could imagine people selling out when it was around 10,000, 12,000, 8,000, whatever it might be. But at this point, if you're down 90%, are you selling out? Like, what is that 10%? Even if you've invested $100,000 and you're down to 10,000, you've taken such a whopping loss that it would only make sense for you to wait and see what the market's going to do, especially considering the fact that we've seen this so many times before with Bitcoin. We've gone through, I believe, 4 market cycles with Bitcoin, and it's going to come back up. The thing that separates this market cycle from the previous ones is that previously the question was, will Bitcoin survive this? Will Bitcoin be able to keep going after this crash? That question is answered, guys. It's obvious that cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is here to stay. It's just a matter of when it's going to go back up. So you guys just keep holding or hodling or, trading, whatever you want to do. I think that, right now where we're at with the markets, you just kind of got to, put your interest in something else instead of staring at the numbers all day, because they can be a little bit depressing. But hey, we got the Bit Squad here. We've got the community. So, make sure you drop us some comments and we can have some conversations. Join us for our live streams and we can kind of take our mind off the markets. So we're going to look at a few quick bullish news stories before we move on to altcoin news. South Korea reveals new crypto regulatory guidelines. And basically what this means is that now crypto is basically legitimized in South Korea, which is huge news. We know South Korea is a hotbed for cryptocurrency investing, along with most of Asia. So the government of Malta, if you don't know Malta, it is a small country. It's an island where Binance is going to be moving a lot of their operating infrastructure to, and that's why Malta has been termed blockchain island. So to go along with that, the government has now passed 3 bills involving crypto and blockchain. The government of Malta is really excited to have Binance come, and other companies have also said they're interested in going to Malta. They want to turn it into blockchain island. So just pretty cool that the government is behind that. I think a lot of the governments need to kind of get on board. So Whale moves 48,000 Bitcoin for 4 cents in fees as scaling solutions develop. So to me, it sounds a little fishy that it's that low for such a large amount. Based on everything we saw in December, like it says here, it briefly reached $50 for transactions in December as they rose quite a bit. But this is good news for scaling unless there's something really fishy about this, which I can't help but think there may be. I also read a story recently about how with the Lightning Network, like 99% of Bitcoin transactions are still failing of large Bitcoin transactions. So this doesn't really line up with that article, so I don't really know which one to believe. But you can't beat moving that much money for that price. So just another reason why we are all bullish on Bitcoin in the long term. So Brave advances browser privacy with Tor-powered tabs. So Tor is an onion routing network that protects your privacy online. So how does this work within the Brave browser? Well, basically what you're able to do, if you want to go incognito or private browser in one of your tabs, or with a browser in general. And you know, I think a lot of people associate that when people are using private tabs or private browsers, that they're only doing it because they're doing something, whether it's looking at porn or whether it's, you know, they're investigating something they shouldn't be looking at. But that's not even necessarily the case. I use private browsers a lot, or I used to use them even more when I wanted to log in to a website with different accounts at the same time. So I can see how this is going to be useful. So instead of actually having to open a new window, you can do it within the tab. So if you check out this article, which the information will be down below, there's actually a video that shows a demo of how it works, and it just adds a different option to your tab. So Skycoin, this is a story that I haven't really touched. It's been basically everywhere. This article is actually from a few days ago. Skycoin is very sketchy. I would kind of compare it to Verge. Like, yeah, they offer some decent stuff, but you know, people just don't really trust them at all. So Skycoin employees kidnap CEO, steal his life savings. Basically, 9 employees broke into the founder's house. His name is Synth. Is actually his name is what it says. I guess he's somewhat anonymous, unless he's like Madonna and just goes by one name. I don't know. But 9 employees broke into his house, beat him and his wife. They made off with 18.88 Bitcoins and 6,466 Skycoins. So once you split that 9 ways, it probably wasn't enough to make it worth it. But this just shows, you know, we're still in the wild west of cryptocurrency and things are crazy. I don't know, maybe they thought he had more than he had. I'm not really sure. But Skycoin is definitely something I would stay away from. You have to look at it like this. Either Synth, the founder of Skycoin, hires super sketchy people for his company, or he's super sketchy, and the people for his company were so angry they wanted to beat him and steal his money. So either way, it's not a good situation. I would stay away from Skycoin if I were you. So this is a picture of the owner of the Sacramento Kings and Vince Carter. I did not even know he plays for the Kings. I'm a huge basketball fan. As you guys know, I love sports. I rock sports hats all the time. I didn't know this was, I guess, a throwback Kings jersey. I don't even know what the Kings look like anymore because they're so irrelevant. But one thing that's making them relevant to cryptocurrency is that the owner, his name is Vivek Ranadive. He is now using the Kings, not the players, but the organization to mine Ethereum. So I thought this was pretty cool. This article kind of goes into detail about how the Kings and also the Golden State Warriors both are near Silicon Valley, and they are both really interested in tech and startups and things of that nature. So it makes sense. They have said that the mining itself has nothing to do with applying anything to the basketball court or to the players themselves, but I just thought it was pretty interesting that they are mining Ethereum. So Dash now believes, after doing some research, that they are going to be able to scale near the size of PayPal. We were looking at Komodo the other day and how like they can actually blow Visa away in transactions per second, but we also talked about, is that even really necessary? So the fact that Dash can scale near PayPal levels is absolutely huge, because that is a necessary thing for us if we are going to challenge the status quo and challenge PayPal. If you don't know Dash, it is a privacy coin. It kind of competes with Monero for the top privacy coin, in my opinion. Market cap will show that. Another thing about Dash, it is very community driven. So it actually is owned as a DAO, which is a decentralized autonomous organization where there is no one owner or ownership group. Basically, the community owns a coin, and that's really cool. So it'll be very interesting to see how this progresses and if they can actually maybe challenge PayPal. But I think news like this really shows that Dash is a good privacy coin. and that it does have a lot of prospects that can keep it near the top of that area of crypto. So LISK now has released their core 1.00 on the public testnet. We did a review on LISK last week, and we talked about a lot of things that we do like about it. And one of the things is that it just steadily progresses. So this is just another steady progression for the LISK project. But I do think the LISK is one to watch out for. I think it is on the road to success as a project. In the Chinese rankings of crypto, they rank LISK very high in the top 5. So there's a lot to like about this project. So good job, LISK, for moving forward, as I knew you would. So Augur price scales the charts as mainnet launch looms. Augur is actually a pretty old project, so the fact that they're finally getting close to their mainnet is really good. But the problem is what's happened since this article was written is it has dropped all the way back down. But unfortunately, as you can see, the price has dropped back down to what it was right before. I don't know if it necessarily has to do with the drop of Bitcoin, but it's got to be really frustrating for Augur to have this announcement that the mainnet is coming, to get a boost in the price, and then Bitcoin to drop and it to just tank right immediately afterwards. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why altcoins do not like releasing news while Bitcoin is crashing. That right there is proof in the pudding for you. So ZCash, their governance panel shoots down research on ASIC resistance, which has to do with mining. So as detailed by CoinDesk, the emergence of specialized hardware capable of mining the cryptocurrency has been the source of division in the community. ASIC resistance, put more simply, means altering a network's code in order to block the kinds of super efficient hardware that are commonly found in large-scale Bitcoin mining operations. Looking at you, Bitmain. A lot of people do not like Bitmain. They think that it is basically trying to centralize cryptocurrency. But right now, the community of ZCash has decided that this is not a huge priority to them looking into this. I think probably the priority is just getting crypto turned around so miners can be making gains instead of breaking even or losing money. I think that might have something to do with this. So there are 64 people on the ZCash governance panel, and it was struck down 38 to 26, so a pretty sizable margin. That's not really what they want to focus on right now. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. We talked about a ton of different stories, more than we usually talk about. There's some bullish stuff in there, but guys, like I said, just be prepared to hold right now and hopefully wait for the markets to turn around sooner than later, but it could be later. So don't forget to join our community. We've got our $500 Bitcoin giveaway coming up in just a couple of days. Very excited about that as that comes closer. We love to give back to the community, so this is going to be one way we're going to do it. You got to be a subscriber to enter the contest, so just go ahead and do yourself a favor. Get our content, and you're able to enter the contest by clicking the subscribe button. So thanks for watching. Until next time, that was your Daily Crypto News.